the fox right outside our window.
Right hand up. Oh my god. The cats are very interested in what's going on here. Hubby's out there with the Bobcat. And we're going to dig a trench to the garden so that next time we have a drought, we've got irrigation options. Today it begins. Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining us today at Tiny Barn Farm. Today we've got quite the adventure ahead of us. We are finally going to be digging the irrigation into the garden. So we're going to dig a trench. I'm pretty excited about this. We've been hoping to do this for quite a while. So we're finally going to do it now that it's almost December. So at least if we get another drought in future gardening years, then we can not have to carry a million buckets. So this is the monster that we're dealing with. So we've been fortunate enough to be parking this for a friend over the winter, and we are able to use it at our own leisure. So thankfully we've got this baby so that we can dig the trench up to the house. So it's about 50 feet. And yeah, this Bobcat will make it a hell of a lot easier. I was actually digging it by hand originally. I am digging an irrigation ditch. We're going to be running a water line from the house to the garden. We'll finally have irrigation, which will be really, really helpful. I am doing this by hand. We do not own a tractor, although there are a lot of tractors in the area and a lot of very generous neighbors that would help, but we just wanted to do a small little ditch. It's not very far to the garden, and I just figured, you know what, I'm just going to do this by hand just so we don't have a huge mess here. Of course, everything gets busy and it's didn't really become a priority this year because we got really nice rain. But I know for a fact that at some point we're going to get a drought. So it'll be really nice to have this. We've got styrofoam sheets just to kind of hold the soil while we're digging it out of the hole. We're hoping to dig about 3 feet down, maybe 4 feet down. These are really just not to create a huge mess. We'll be reusing these, and we're going to stick 2 hydrants in the ground, one at this end and one at the house. So here comes hubby with the hydrant number 1. Yeah, probably to the right of the walking path. It's going to be like, eventually this is going to be like a 4-foot path inside the garden all the way around. So I think having it to the right of the entrance will be good. I did insist on red hydrants because I just like the way they look. And this is what, 8 feet long, this thing?
Well, just about.
Okay, so we're hoping to bury it
3.5?
about 3.5 feet. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe 4 feet.
So I gotta put this together.
Okay. This is a south-facing garden, so it does get more sun than the rest. So we're not too worried about frost, but we do sometimes get really, really cold temperatures here. So
it's sandy and it's gonna stay.
Not that we're watering the garden in the winter, but we'd like to have access to water because perhaps at some point we're thinking maybe we would run water to the tiny barn. So we want to keep that option open, and that would run from this hydrant down to the tiny barn. So we don't want anything freezing unnecessarily.
Okay.
So you're wrapping that in, what is that called?
Teflon
tape. That's to create a seal, I guess.
That's what the plumber told me.
That's what the plumber told us.
So
Actually, 2 of our neighbors are plumbers, so we have access to 2 plumbers in case of emergency.
yeah, and neither one is here.
And neither one is here.
That's okay. Okay, I think that's good.
Any? Yeah.
Okay,
And we're not going to be able to test it. Well, we're going to keep it open at either end before, and then have the plumber come in, and then we'll test them because we don't want to bury it and then there's a leak and we don't know about it.
Okay, so what I can do is, rather than leave a huge hole, is just make a little box, drop it in, fill it.
Oh, okay.
Then we can test in the spring. If there's a problem, it's there. If not, you just pull the wood out, fill that last little bit.
Oh, that's a good idea. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yep, that's good.
Rather than, because it's going to be a huge hole.
Yeah, okay.
But that just sounds like more work.
It is more work.
Okay, great. Moving right.
We love making more work. Okay. So now what?
Okay, so I got stones and gravel in there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to dig that hole. We're going to get it approximately 4 feet.
Yeah.
And then we're going to throw some of this stuff in there, like
oh, I see.
ball and everything.
Right.
Throw that in. I got a nice flat rock there. It'll be the last rock that the thing sits on,
so it's stable.
And then make sure it's plumb.
Okay.
And then
sure, this is all going to be no problem at all. Yeah, this will be easy. That's the hose that's going in the ground. Oh, there's little fox prints. Oh, little bugger. He dug a hole in the garden.
That's a fox right outside our window, taking a pee. Oh my God, look how beautiful. Now she's peeing. Oh, look at that. See you later. Oh my God, so beautiful. She goes down the driveway. Oh my God, amazing. That must be the fox that's hanging around here. All the little prints in the snow. She came right up to the house. Incredible.
okay, I think what I'm going to do is take
Hose has been attached.
a little more and then just get this going a bit further.
Okay.
Because this is over 3 feet.
Yep. It's an interesting process doing this because we have to make sure that the machine doesn't straddle the trench. Digging it up to a certain point and then being able to move the machine away from it to not get stuck over the trench. So he's gonna dig the trench kind of mostly up to the house, and then he's gonna stop and we're gonna lay the water line and then dig the rest. See how this is going. I think I'd like to try it. The machine, I mean. I've never driven one of these before. Hubby's in deep concentration. Okay.
Snuggled in there. Push that down.
What do you mean push it down? Like this way?
Yeah, all the way down.
Okay.
All the way. Slam her down.
Right hand up. Oh my God.
Down. Yeah, and then out.
Oh, that? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, right.
Oh, I see. Uh-huh. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
And then,
Really,
yeah.
kind of pull towards you, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
And then
the
up.
smallest scoop I've ever seen. That's
I'm being delicate. Oh, look at this.
There's your first scoop. And then up, bring your other hand up.
Like that.
Yeah, and then you.
And then, oh my God, how do you remember to do this?
Your right hand would go out, and then you would release the dirt.
Nope.
Up to the right.
To the right. Release. Ah, look at that. That's amazing.
How satisfying.
Okay, I want to get out now.
Okay.
Bring this up, the brake.
That's kind of the controls are off there.
Okay, now that's a safety feature. I can get out now?
Now you can just get out.
Okay, this isn't going to start driving?
I don't think so.
Okay. Whew.
All right.
All right, thank you.
All right, well, thank you.
I know, I was so helpful. 2 grams of dirt I moved. I can definitely see this being more of a muscle memory activity. You get used to kind of moving the joysticks, but yeah, when you're getting started, it's it's really confusing. But it's amazing how powerful that scoop is. It's like there's no resistance. It just pulls that earth right up, and there's a little kitty at the window here. Even though I was totally stressed out about the disaster this would bring in terms of mess. This will go quick. I think we'll probably have this filled back in by the end of the day, which will be nice. You guys are just the cutest cats ever. Look at these two. I'd say that's about 50 feet.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay this thing in now.
Okay.
I'm going to lay the pipe in.
Up to under the thing?
Up and under.
Yep.
And then just sort of fill in and
Yeah.
just move my way back this way.
Okay.
This is all like basically 4 feet.
Yep.
So that's kind of
Yeah, no, that's great. I think if we're at 4 feet with sand, I think we're good. Right? Stones and gravel.
Then I got this flat rock I'm going to sit it on.
Okay. Cute. All right. Okay.
Yeah, you have to kind of
Unravel it? Okay, yeah. Okay. Like that. Yeah, that's going to sit like that. We're going to move it over about a foot and make sure this is sitting on some rocks so it drains properly, even though there's really good drainage here. But
rock in there.
yeah.
Right, so I'll just, once we get to here, I'll make that little box, throw it over top. The first thing we do is I'm going to throw like 3 inches of gravel down there. So that drain point.
So it's all in gravel.
In gravel.
Yeah. Start filling it in. Getting near the end here, I think. Makes me nervous. He's now straddling the ditch, kinda.
to free up where the inlet to the house is.
Awesome. Oh, yeah, a little buried.
Yeah, a little bit. So I'm just gonna lay this in and then finish that, work my way back this way,
Okay.
and then we'll finish up at that end.
Okay. And then the access to the house is in there somewhere where that stake is. Oh my God, just long enough.
It's like we knew what we were doing. Awesome.
Yeah.
It's actually going to plan. So I'm gonna finish that way and then I gotta come
Okay.
this way and then
We got a cat over here. Two cats.
One's very interested in what's happening.
Oh, there's the two. You guys are hilarious. What are you doing? Mabel's unimpressed and Maud is very curious. Almost done. Just leaving the ends open. All right, let's see what we got here. Now the hydrant looks crooked because it isn't quite in its spot yet. But that's what we got there. That's the type of hydrant. And hubby built a box around this. So it's hooked up, but the water isn't hooked up yet. So once the water is hooked up, then we'll be able to test it, make sure that it doesn't leak. If it does leak, we're digging this out again. But if it doesn't leak, then we'll be able to fill this in properly and straighten this out. And the other one, this is all filled in, the trench is gone. All the dirt's been raked back up, so it's almost like it didn't happen, which is nice. Yeah, here's the other hydrant. So this is in the entrance to the garden, which is going to be so nice to have this. Again, we've got a lot of fox prints checking out what was happening here. But we've got that whole dugout and waiting for hookup in the springtime or water testing in the springtime. And there's the second hydrant right by the garden. So now I'll be able to run irrigation through here. So we're either thinking sprinklers or we could do drip irrigation, but we've got options. Also, we dug this quite deep so that we could have water all year round, because there's always a possibility we would run another line from this hydrant to the tiny barn, because if we decide to have that as a guest house through the winter, we'd like to have running water right outside the door, so then we won't have to haul water out there. So.